So, welcome everyone. Welcome new faces. Welcome familiar faces. If you guys can mute up, go ahead and mute. Um, and then you guys should be able to see my screen. And I remembered to unmute myself in my. Um, so I also wanted to showcase some of our new pictures that we had in the community. So, um, I'm really excited for this community meeting because there is going to be big news at the end. But yeah. So we're going to talk about our normal thing like community numbers, the monthly financials, kind of our roadmap, like what I've been working on, where we'll be going, things like that. We'll be going over the community feedback form that I had posted last month, and some of the feedback that I received, and kind of just have a conversation about some of that stuff. I'm going to go over some of the upcoming events that we're going to have in the server, and then later on today I'll actually post them for people to RSVP to. And then the last thing we'll talk about is the surprise. We'll probably do the Q&A after the surprise. If you have to bow out before we get to the Q&A, feel free to still post your questions. I'll answer them, and then you can either watch the recording or I can DM you or whatever. So, community numbers. Who cares anymore? I'm not going to stress about them anymore. We've started this project with the idea of quality over quantity. And I realized I was getting so stressed out at this idea of, well, we have 174 people that are whitelisted, but we have 6 people that are active in the server. I'm tired of stressing about it. We're here to build beautiful stories. And if that means there's 2 people building a really beautiful story driven arc and that's all that's happening, I'm fine with that. That's 2 people that are finding their place in this community. So I'm not going to care about it anymore. I removed it from our server stats, so it's not something I'll be obsessing over anymore. I will be going through our unwhitelisted people and removing people that have been here since like the beginning that I've never whitelisted, just because they obviously are not planning on being part of the community. They haven't talked in the community. Um, but I'm not going to stress about the numbers anymore. And I don't want anyone in the community to feel like we have to worry about numbers. So, yeah, who cares? Our monthly financial breakdown. Um, we didn't do a lot this month, again, just because we were mostly focused on, just kind of getting the server fine tuned. We haven't bought any new scripts. We haven't really done anything to add to it. All we did was work on fine tuning the scripts we have. But our previous balance from June, and ignore the total June, I forgot to July, but the total balance that we had back from June was $505 and some change. We paid for server rent, which through a very generous contributor, they helped cover the cost of server rent since I've been without a job. And then we had our Patreon payouts. I paid for some Discord boosts for our server so we can keep our custom URL. And then I paid for a logo from Fiverr. And then so that left us an income of 228, and then we had a negative balance of 731, which left us a negative balance of 503.61. So we actually got better. Yay. But that's our monthly. It's still in the negative, but that's just kind of the cost of having a server. So where are we going? This is our roadmap. So there's a lot of information here. Some scripts that are going to be getting updates as soon as Vorp Core and Thin scripts kind of mesh better together and start to cooperate in how they're pushing their updates will be housing. There's going to be an update with housing where if you buy furniture, it appears the proper way for everyone. So no more beds that look right for you, but then for the other person that lives in the house, it's like cattywampus. Wampus, yeah, cattywampus, um, and things like that. There is going to be an update with the Send weapons, which will allow for you guys to put your ammo in a gun belt and then use it directly from the gun belt instead of having inventory slots consumed by ammunition. Um, there's a society update that got pushed that I still haven't touched because, again, I don't want to break our server with incompatibility. Um, there's an inventory update that still needs to come that will coincide with the weapon script, but again, gotta wait for everything to mesh up. We still plan on using the new Vorp banking that came out with the safety deposit boxes. There's going to be a new admin menu that we're going to use with Vorp because Atomic isn't being updated anymore. And the Vorp admin menu actually allows for you guys as players to create tickets within the server. So active staff members in the server can see, oh, there's a problem here. Let me go get that person. So you guys don't have to tab out into Discord to always get our attention. You guys can do it immediately in the server. I'm going to be doing some updates to the farming. So we're going to be adding a lot of vegetables and fruits and things that you guys will be able to grow. The stuff that's going to be harvested through the ecology script is going to be removed or at least lessened in terms of like your yield amount. So then that way people will be encouraged to reach out to the natives and to survivalists that have actually found these herbs and stuff out in the wild, like actually create some of that RP. And then I need to do some updates to the stagecoach job because right now, like you can get your stagecoach, it'll tell you where to go pick someone up, and then it never tells you where to drop them off. So right now you just kind of have like this like permanent passenger in your buggy, and it's kind of awkward. The new scripts that we're going to either be bringing in or are already in. There is a cart robbery. I teased that in the updates channel. There is some suspicious shady person near the Valentine area that is wanting to rob a cart. You're gonna have to bring him some stuff, and he'll tell you how to do it. We're gonna have safe robberies in, so if you guys see lock boxes around the server, you guys can break into those once I get that in. We're going to be bringing in a drug empire script, which will also have some robberies and stuff too, but this will also allow you guys to create certain drug packages like coke, things like that, to sell to NPCs. So those that want to do some criminal RP and there might not be law around, you guys can at least still do a little bit of things. We're going to be bringing in a roulette script, so the casino boat's going to finally get roulette. So they won't have to use their Discord anymore for the roulette. Boats technically work. I just need to figure out how to spawn in the boats away from the boat store. Otherwise, it'll be really awkward that everyone has to spawn their boats around there and then carry their boat to a river or something. So, there are some things like that that need to be tweaked with it. Bank robberies will be in after I do the new banking script. I'm going to basically just push all that all at once. The shaman script, which is available, I just need to activate it, will be something that the natives will have in-character knowledge about, and they'll be able to kind of share this experience with people. Saloon serving, so this will be kind of like a bartending job where you'll actually like pour the drinks and all that kind of stuff. That'll be coming in soon. The gold exchange, you guys will be able to bring your gold nuggets and gold bars to a certain individual and they will pay you for them. And then we're gonna have lottery tickets. I'm trying to work on a way where we basically have like a pot, and you could win a lot of money out the gate, or you might win like $10, or you might win free lottery tickets. But it'll be something that we're hoping to tie like the taxes from the homes and the businesses to go into funneling the pot for the lottery tickets, as well as people buying the lottery tickets. And as CT mentioned in the community meeting chat, you might also win nothing. It might just tell you to try again. But that is something that I'm working on to hopefully encourage some people to, buy some lottery tickets. Some other things coming soon. Crafting. I know I tease crafting every month. I've reached out to Coyote, and once we can sit together and kind of figure out why the job locked, stuff isn't working, um, that should be the last thing I have to worry about. And then after that, it's just adding additional recipes. But crafting should be coming soon. Wool mill. So we're gonna have a wool mill job, so you'll be able to actually take the wool that you get from the animals that you kill, and then you'll be able to refine it into cloth, or other fabrics and things like that, and then possibly sell them. I haven't completely figured out the transition of that, but it may even be something as like you're able to craft like a sack, and then with that sack and some sugar, you can make a pound of sugar, and then you can sell the pound of sugar to a farmer's market, and all that kind of stuff. So it's to help kind of just create methods of crafting. NPC fighting matches, so you can do fight night all the time, and it doesn't have to be with other players. You can actually fight against NPCs and win money, and you can bet on people who are fighting against the NPCs. The black market, we're going to we currently have a black market, you just have to find it. But we're planning on implementing a traveling black market script. So it'll move around locations, and you guys can sell things to the black market. You can buy things from the black market, and things like that. The Sin Clan script finally got its big update push. So hopefully, once I could do some testing with that, we'll bring in clans. So then you guys that have criminal, groups and crews and gangs and everything can start utilizing clan territory and stuff, as well as doing your illegal brewing and all that kind of nefarious activities, Jasper. um, and then we're going to bring in some NPC medical stuff. So an NPC doctor that'll be around to heal you if you get hurt. But we still encourage you guys to at least follow up with a player doctor and actually do the RP. Things like that. And then we're going to have marijuana farming, which someone had posted publicly a marijuana prop that I guess is from 5M that they've converted over into Red-M. So now you'll actually see like a marijuana stock and all that kind of stuff. But these are all some of the big new things that we are planning on bringing in, have either been brought in or going to be updated. So there's a lot of stuff that I've been working on the back end. So please don't think that I'm just like, we're just kind of floating in this ambiguous world. No, I'm working on it. It just takes time. So community feedback. About a month ago, I posted a community feedback form in the announcements, basically asking for your guys' input on things you like, things you don't like, things you would like to see, and what we can be doing better as a community, as staff, as owners, whatever. We didn't get a lot of forums back. I think we got a total of 6. Two of the forums that were posted early on, I had answered in either announcements or in the updates channel. I'll have to find it again. But these were the last 4 ones that I kind of pulled from. And not gonna lie, some of the responses for me were very frustrating. And it's just because it's a lot of the same rehash thing of, well, we want more players. I can't create players. If I could, I would make them. But I can't. The best thing I could do is I could create events and scripts that will encourage people to get on. But I can't force people to click on the Red-M icon and then click on our server. Some things that people said that they really liked. They like the community. They like the staff. They like that the server allows people to be themselves. And then they like the scripts. And I think that those are some really big valid reasons to be part of a community. Is if you enjoy the community, if the staff is non-toxic and actually has the community's interests at heart, and being able to be yourself and then see some really unique scripts come to life that allow certain things to happen, I think those are really great reasons to be around. Some things people said that they would like to see. Some more NPC stores and jobs. We are bringing in more NPC jobs. We are bringing in more NPC stores. At the same time, we have 3 gun stores. We have 2 blacksmiths. We have technically 3 ranches, 2 of them being mine. Um, and they are active when people request for us. But if no one requests us, we might be off doing other things. I've been doing a lot of dev work lately. And honestly, I've also been taking time for myself to kind of just enjoy other games because I was getting burnt out on Red M a little bit because I was doing so much. Um, but I don't want to create an NPC store that could take away business from a player store because it's convenient. Um, it's not fair to the people who invest a lot of time in RP and resources and crafting materials and everything into these businesses just for someone to wait until someone's offline so they can go to an NPC store and buy everything out. Um, if you notice that a store doesn't have any stock in it, let us know in a ticket and I can let the business owner be like, hey, some people are looking for knives, do you think you can craft some more knives? And stuff like that. We made it so whenever you guys first create your character that you spawn in with a gun and a lasso, and some food. So we do give you guys some resources. And then there is ways to make money outside of the whitelisted jobs. You just have to go looking for them. Another thing people said that they would like to see is more people. I agree. I would love to see more people. But again, I can't create people. I can't create people that are going to come into the server and play. You guys do that. You guys as a community can encourage your friends like, hey, let's all get on and get up to some sketchy shit. Or, hey, let's all go on a hunting trip. Or let's go do this. Or let's go do that. I can't create more people to... Thank you, Jasper. I can't create people to get on. And I can't force people to get on. I can't, go over to their house and be like, you better get on my fucking server right now, because that's not how that works. I can only create events and I can only be encouraging and vocal in the Discord for people to be around, but I can't force anyone to do anything. They want to see more non-whitelisted jobs. My question is, what does that look like to you guys? We have stagecoaches, we have delivery jobs, we have quests, we have robbery jobs, we have all sorts of stuff that you guys could get up to that are NPC related. I need to know what NPC jobs or non-whitelisted jobs mean to you guys. Because if you guys say non-whitelisted jobs, I'm like, okay, well, what does that mean? Because the whitelisted jobs that we have are medical, LEO, and government, and then you have businesses that you guys can own. So if you guys are ones that want to see non-whitelisted jobs, create a ticket and put suggestions in there and tell me, like, what does that look like? What do you want to see? What would bring your character in and say, yes, I want to do that job? Otherwise, I don't know what you guys want me to put. More balance with materials. We definitely did a big rebalancing for the hunting stuff. So a lot of animals now will drop like extra meat and things like that. Things that you guys will actually utilize versus just, random animal parts. You can still sell the random animal parts if you have them, but you guys will notice like the pronghorn will drop more meat. The wolves will drop more big game meat. Like they are dropping more useful materials than just miscellaneous stuff that clogs up your inventory. And then the more balance with materials, that also is going to be coming with the farming. We're going to be changing it so people don't just sit there and grind farming all day, or they don't go just harvesting yarrow and get 50 yarrow in 3 minutes while someone else is growing yarrow for 30 minutes and only gets 7. We're going to be rebalancing a lot of that too. Drugs and server. we're working on it. Um, we have, the like the doctor's office in Blackwater. Like there are drugs. There are drugs in server that we're just waiting on being able to craft with the job lock stuff. However, if you guys are wanting to do criminal stuff with drugs and let the marshals have things to chase, I have to see both parties on more. It's very hard to um, encourage criminal RP when I have one or two marshals on, because they can't manage the entire server. Just like I can't, encourage my marshals to do marshal things when there's no criminals on that want to do any like bank robberies or store robberies or whatever. Um, Crime isn't just hitting those big places. Like there's road bandits, there's all sorts of stuff. It's all limited by your creativity. That's really what it is. Bounty hunting. We are planning on bringing in a bounty hunting script to allow people to do bounty hunting. I haven't found one that I like as of yet. CT found one, and I lost it. So if he finds it again and sends it to me, we'll be putting that kind of up on our priority list because bounty hunting is fun. Um, but I also want to, take a big, step forward and say, I don't want this to turn into just an NPC focused thing and it basically be RDO. Um, I want it to be role play, and you can't really role play with an NPC because after a certain point they just don't respond to you, or they kill you, and then you're like, oh, okay. So I don't mind putting NPC things in. I don't want it to be all NPC. But again, I get why the need for NPCs are there because our community numbers are low. Um, the homes being unlocked so you could tour them before buying. The Sin housing script, from what I've looked through, does not allow for that option. However, if you ICly say, hey, I want to take a look at this house before I buy it, can a government official take me around? P.S. All the government officials are staff. We can go in and unlock the house and let you tour it, and then we could put it back on the market. Um, we just need to know. If I had a way to make it so homes could be unlocked, then I would. But unfortunately, I don't have a way to do that. They just automatically lock whenever you create them. And then one last thing that someone had put in their form, and this was kind of the thing that made me go, okay, well, I need more info. And it made me almost regret putting the forums as anonymous, but I wanted to encourage people to be honest. So that's why we did the anonymity aspect to it. Was more. Okay, well, what do you want? I don't know what more means. I know it means that you want to see an excess amount of something, but I don't know what that something is. So for me, if you want more, I need to know what that more is. If you're wanting more people, okay, well, encourage your friends to come play. Encourage people to get on, post in the general chat and be like, hey, let's all, get together. I know Ray in here has done that a couple times, and unfortunately, just timing hasn't synced up between all of us yet. But if you want more money, if you want more role play opportunities, if you want more events, tell me. I can't do anything with just one word. And then some things that were mentioned that we can improve on. More things to do. There's a lot to do in the server. I had one form where someone says there's so much to do and it sucks that there's no one around. And then I had a form right after that that said they wanted more things to do. I wish I could introduce both of you people so you could see what each other is seeing. Because I feel whenever I log into the server that there's a lot to do. I don't know what more I can add. And so not knowing more things to do, just again, give us a specific, more people playing besides staff members. Again, I can't force people to play. Yeah, it's mostly staff members that get on an RP, but that's just because we are building stories. Um, I know Cooper is around a ton. You know, um, I know Hunter gets around when he can. I know Jasper hops in, but he's staff. Like, I can't tell my staff members, hey, don't log on at all so we can encourage people to play, but I also can't force non staff members to get on. Um, More balance, quality of life, things to do, nothing for me to do besides hang out with people. That's the whole point of an RP server, is to hang out with people. If hanging out with people is not what you want, then you're not taking the vision of the community to heart. We were never meant to be RDO. We were never meant to be a replacement for RDO. We're here for people to hang out with other people and build stories. So whenever I read that nothing for me to do besides hang out with people, like it did kind of feel like a slap to the face. It's because it's like, well, that's the whole purpose of RP. And then player-based economy, but no players. Again, I'm trying to compensate in a healthy balance to allow for there to be an economy without players, but I can't force people to get on. And that's the big thing coming from the community feedback form that I got, is people want more people to be on, but we need people to get on, and I can't force that. So that was our form. And then I want to make sure I don't just okay. And then the community feedback, or not community feedback, the upcoming events. So we have a lot of events that I'm hoping to put on in August. Our monthly fight night is August 5th at 8 p.m. We have our wagon race that I'm going to try to put on August 14th. We are not doing donkey shows, Jasper. I regret posting that. We're going to do 2 community movie nights. One is going to be August 20th at 7 p.m. And then one's going to be August 22nd at 8 p.m. And that's going to be our horror movie day. I will try to fit in a donkey race somewhere in this event stuff, but this is the stuff that I wanted to do. Cougar Crossing is going to be doing a horse auction for all the horses that we have accumulated. We're going to have our next community meeting on August 26th. And then Manzanita Post is going to be hosting a hunting expedition and trail ride. And it'll be after the community meeting. So basically what we will do next month is we will meet up in server for the community meeting, hang out around Manzanita, do that kind of thing. And then after the community meeting, we will go off and start our trail ride to a hunting location where we will hunt to our heart's content. We are also still wanting to do a server-wide hide-and-seek event. If you want to participate or plan, let me know. We have a ticket open for it, and we're still kind of working on that. We have the prizes already hashed out. We have, all that kind of stuff. We just need people that are wanting to actually hide. We want people that actually want to do the seeking. And then I'm going to have people that are willing to basically be like referees and make sure that people are actually, if they get caught, that they go to where they're supposed to go and things like that. So those are the upcoming events. And like I said, I want to do a donkey race again because that was a lot of fun. And yes, as CT put, the refs will get a reward too for their time. I just need to find where a donkey race will fit in. These are just the events that I'm hosting, though. If you guys have an event that you want to do, like a fishing trip, or if Dreamweaver wants to do an auction for their horses, or you guys want to do a big house party, or an open house, or a, grand opening for a business, that's fine. Just tell me in a ticket so I can put it on our schedule. And then if you need help planning and advertising and coordinating the events, I can help with that. Like, I love doing that. Coyote's server, Windswept, which is also where Niche is from, they are kind of a I don't know how to phrase it. I don't know the word. I don't want to say sister server because we're not really sister servers, but um, we try to do server to server events. We're gonna affiliate. Thank you, Steve. Affiliate. We want to encourage you guys to go over there, participate in events. We want them to come over and participate in events with us. Um, Stepsister server. But we want to build that collaboration because their community represents a lot of the same values that we hold, and we support them, and I trust them and their staff with my community. I know that you guys go over there, you'll be treated with respect. You guys will be, treated with, integrity and dignity, and you guys will be welcomed with open arms as well. And that's what we encourage from both servers is we treat their people the same way that, they treat them and vice versa. So eventually, once Coyote is ready to post their server in our affiliations channel, whenever they're open and their whitelists are open and things like that, I encourage you guys to go and meet their community too, because they're a bunch of beautiful people. I've been over there and they're really great. And they have some really unique events too, so lots to do. I've been talking a lot. Um, of course, Coyote. CT, is there anything that you want to mention before I move on to the big surprise?
Um, there's nothing that I can think of off the top of my head. Um, I do want to encourage everybody to come up with events and stuff of your own that we can help you with. Because almost everything that's been hosted, it has been mostly staff. Cooper hosted or was going to. I don't know if he did. I was actually sick at the time. His open house, and that's the only event that hasn't been a staff related thing. So we would like for you guys to put things out there, and we'll help as we can.
Drugs, drinks, all sorts of stuff. Um, we've had, events previously where people IRL would play the acoustic guitar and link it through their microphone so then people could hear them sitting there with a guitar actually playing. Like, we've had really cool things like that happen. We just have to know that those things are happening. If you guys are hosting an event and I could be there, I will be there. Depending on what character
Mhm.
is completely up to y'all, kind of, depending on, the event. But, you know, I encourage the events and stuff because events are fun, but I can't do it all. And I don't want to do it all because it's not just my server, it's our server. I just keep the lights on and make sure it functions. Kinda. I hold it together with duct tape. um, but does anyone have any questions right now before I move on?
Just type them up in the meeting questions.
Mm-hmm.
That way we can address them and delete them as needed.
Yep. I'll give people a couple of minutes and then we'll move on to the big surprise. And then if we don't have any questions, Coyote, I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but if you want to share any information about Windswept or about the lore, anything like that, please feel free.
For those of you who may not be watching the community meeting chat, Cooper actually made a good point there. Like, it's actually, Cooper, why don't you pop in and unmute and say what you said for those who aren't paying attention?
Okay, yeah. Sorry if I go a little I'm literally.
You're already roboting.
Yeah, somebody else might have to take over.
I'll read it for you. So, what he said is, I think that what we all need to do as a community is build our characters and make IC events, small businesses, services. You don't need a whitelist job to make good RP. He used his farm, for example, that they take contracts for food distribution, and we can all make our own little jobs that we don't need anything too far outside the base mechanics, which is true. Like the ranching stuff, like that's public access. Like anybody can go up there and use that stuff. If you wanted to, you know, make it better for RP, you could go up and actually talk to the person whose property it's on and be like, "Hey, I'm looking to, buy some pigs or some cows," and you can RP that out with them. But that stuff's there for everybody to use, and with the crafting coming up, there's so much that we're going to be able to do with a lot of that stuff. Hopefully, all these updates sync up very soon so we can get all of that pushed through. But stock up on things. Like, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be requested here very, very soon, as far as like meats, vegetables, herbs. All of that kind of stuff is going to be in very high demand very, very soon. So there's things that you could be doing. While it might not be something you can cash in on at the very second, very, very soon you're going to be able to make quite a bit of money off of stuff like that.
Yep. And that's why I've told people from the get go, if you're here to grind for money, you're going to be very disappointed. We keep the economy as realistic as possible while also keeping up with, the knowledge that, yes, it's a video game. But if you're wanting to just do the money grind and be the richest person in the state, you're not going to have fun. You will get burnt out, and then you'll be upset that there's nothing for you to do because now you have all this wealth and nothing to spend it on. So with that in mind, like, most of our characters barter. I've sold horses for wolf pelts. I know the natives will literally be like, okay, well, if you provide the materials, we'll craft you a bow and arrow. Like, we do a lot of bartering. And that's a big deal. I mean, doctors treat things for $5. We're not making bank. Like, so the only people that are making bank are the casino, in all honesty, and that's just because the casino makes a lot of money because people want to gamble, but there's going to be in character things that come from that too. But I'm going to go ahead and move us forward to the big surprise. And then we'll go from there. So the big surprise I wanted to share that has been kind of a more recent development within the last week or so is we're going to be opening up a FiveM server called Blood Money RP or Blood Money Roleplay. If you are whitelisted in this Discord and in this server, you are automatically whitelisted and approved for Blood Money. It is also going to be a FiveM server that is specifically catering to story building and quality roleplay, just like it is here. We're not doing the cops and robbers thing. We're not doing anything like that. We are still in super early development. But that's what I've been working on for the past week and a half. We are looking for staff. We are looking for people to help run departments. We're also looking for maybe a developer too that wants to assist me in getting FiveM going because I'm very unfamiliar with FiveM. But this is the big surprise. This is a project for me. And does this mean High Noon's closing its doors? No, not at all. My hope is that as people come into 5M, they will get to learn our community, get to know our community, fall in love with our community, and then may want to also progress into run MRP. And then we can have this big kind of conglomerate of community that comes together and represents the same values back and forth. So, yes. And then people that are whitelisted in Blood Money and they want to come over to Renham, they will also be whitelisted in Renham. They'll just have to let staff know, so then that way we can give them the proper stuff. If you guys look in the announcements channel, CT just went ahead and posted the Blood Money server link. You guys can go ahead and join, and we'll start giving you guys the legal citizen role as we go. But there's going to be a little bit different of a structure in how staff are managed over there. There's going to be a lot of opportunities. Those of you that have been in 5M before know that there's a lot more in 5M. And there's a lot more capabilities in 5M. So there's just a lot. And then the other big thing is that if you are here in the Blood Money roleplay Discord and active, within that community, pre-launch, you'll be able to request one thing as a player that you want, and that could be either a vehicle, a home property, or a business property with your business proposal. And you'll get that as a thank you for being supportive while we build. But there's all this information is over in that Discord. And then I'm trying to think of what else I'm missing possibly from over there. I can't think of it. My brain's a little fried. But we're coming together. And like I said, I'm hoping that with these two communities being ran in a very similar way in terms of quality over quantity, we'll be able to grow our community. And there will be some changes that will reflect that here too. Like the monthly financial tracker will include the totals for both. There'll be a lot of transparency for both sides. But yeah, that's our big announcement. Does anyone have any questions? Please post them in the meeting questions channel. All right. I see Josh typing.
Well, while he's typing, there's a couple things that I do want to say about this 5M server.
Okay.
It's up right now. Do not get used to anything that's in there. Almost everything's going to change. The only reason it's up right now is so that we can slowly implement things little by little, test them one by one, and make sure they're working. When things are ready to be tested, we will let you know when it's ready to be tested. Anything other than that, don't worry about it. We don't want to overload Katie on a bunch of errors and issues on things that we're going to be replacing anyway. So just keep that in mind whenever you get in there. If you want to mess around until we're ready to launch, just make sure that if there's something messed up, odds are that we haven't gotten to it yet, and it's something that's going to be replaced. So just keep that in mind.
Yes. Especially since I'll be starting a new job soon, guys. Things do take. I mean, you guys that have been here know things take time. I try to push things out as quick as I can, but I'm still very much new to dev work. And then diving into the 5M world, it's a little bit different than RedM. There's a lot of similarities. There's also a lot of differences. So I'm hoping that also with learning 5M, this will also help with my deving skills with RedM and vice versa. Thank you, Josh, for that. You know, it is really appreciative when you guys, you know, thank us for things. Like we're not doing this for the thank yous or for the praise. It's nice to hear that. I love praise. But I appreciate that, and I appreciate that you guys have stuck around. Like I know, you know, after we relaunched from our big deletion, things have not been the same. I feel like in a lot of ways things are better, especially the health of the community. I feel like is a lot better. But I get it. Like things are different, and we lost a lot of people that, you know, just found other places to be, and that's I'm happy for them too. But I do appreciate those of you that have stuck around because I know it's been a challenge. I mean, we've been waiting on the crafting script for literally months. But it's literally one hiccup that I'm having issues with. And reaching out to developers that develop their scripts, sometimes they're not as helpful as they say that they're going to be. There's a lot of people that could probably back me up on that. So with that said, I appreciate you guys being patient with me and my staff. I appreciate you guys that have stuck around. And I hope that, you know, we can continue to grow as a community because that's all I want. I just want us to be a close community that really just, you know, is together. Let's see. Does anyone have anything else to add? Before I let everyone go to their own devices. Well, wrap up.
Thank you to everybody who came.
Yeah, and thank you, Coyote. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to post them in the meeting questions channel. We'll still respond to them even after the meeting. Or you can ask in general chat. And then, yeah, just I hope to see you guys in server on both either RedM or in 5M now.